British EU critics see the EU's corona bailout as confirmation for their fears. Great Britain is distancing itself from its European partners in the pandemic, and discussions with Brussels are stalling. They had always known the EU is becoming a superstate that is gradually undermining the sovereignty of the member countries. Luckily, Britain is off the hook. That was the conclusion of Brexit supporters after the EU agreed on the 390 billion corona bailout earlier last week. For the EU critics in the British Parliament and in the editorial offices of the right-wing conservative press, the outcome of the negotiations was not an expression of European solidarity, but merely further evidence of the Union's hunger for power. The Daily Express, for example, wrote that agreements on the bailout package paves the way to a federal supranational state. The Sun quotes Tory MP Bill Cash with the words, "You use this coronavirus fund to advance the integration process a good deal." The party colleague is relieved that Britain is not involved in the fund and says, "The British probably have to contribute the most money to the save other countries." Once again, Brexit supporters see themselves confirmed that they have done everything right and that Great Britain is well advised to go it alone. Although the most money will have to be paid by Germany, by the way. And we will do it without remorse or anything. Since the onset of the corona crisis, the British government has been distancing itself from the EU and has been following a particularly idiosyncratic path through the pandemic. It started with the fact that they introduced the lockdown later than all other European countries and hoped to be able to defeat the disease through herd immunity. Experts condemned the approach as frivolous and the government quickly turned around. But by then, it was too late. Great Britain has the highest number of fatalities for COVID in Europe. Great Britain did not want to participate in an EU program for the procurement of respirators and protective equipment. Instead, the government called on British companies to manufacture the ventilators themselves with moderate success. And by the way, once again, it's an old story now, but Germany did deliver ventilators to the UK. But the government in London continues to avoid making common cause with its European partners. A few weeks ago, it decided not to participate in the EU's corona vaccination program. Britain could have no way of influencing price and manufacturer decisions. The UK ambassador wrote in a letter to the EU Commission as justification. Meanwhile, talks between London and Brussels on post-Brexit trade relations are stalling. In the past 6 months, the overwhelming theme of the past 4 years has initially taken a backseat. Shortly after the formal exit on January 31st, the coronavirus began to spread in Europe and hardly anyone spoke of Brexit. But time is short. Reminder, the transition period ends on December 31st. If there is no new trade agreement by then, Britain will have to act with the EU on the basis of the rules of the WTO, the World Trade Organization. According to experts, serious economic damage would be inevitable. And to some of those who comment under my videos and say WTO is great, have a look at my videos about the WTO or Google the WTO and finally have a look at the rules of the WTO and then think again. And in order to allow enough time for ratification of the agreement, the treaty must in principle already be ready in October. The last round of talks has just ended and the result is poor. According to EU Chief Negotiator Michel Barnier, there has been no progress on the two most important issues, fishing and fair competition. Barnier believes negotiations may fail, and I definitely do so too. British negotiator David Frost also appears to be not very confident. "We have to consider the possibility that no agreement will be reached," he wrote in a statement, and I'm quite sure now that it will be much more probable that we end with a small deal or no deal at all, but there definitely won't be a comprehensive deal at the end of the year. And if you now want to know more about European politics from a German point of view, YouTube has chosen another of my videos right here for you in the end screen, right next to your chance to subscribe to my channel if you haven't done so yet. By the way, if you do so, don't forget to click the little bell so you'll be notified when I publish another video, which at the moment is 3 times a day. I didn't plan this, but I've got so much material that I want to do this for you. And that's the other side of Corona. Due to Corona, I do have the time to do it now next to my day job because a lot of my voluntary work had to be cancelled and I can't continue with that until the whole situation is solved by vaccine. I'll see you in my next video. Click and enjoy und viel Spaß!